Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutakabbala. Ameen ya rabbal alameen. So here we are with our session number 60 for basic Nahw and Sarf, in which we are going to focus on negation in Jumlatul Failure. We have been covering Jumlatul Failure since the beginning of our term 2, and today we are inshallah embark on journey of understanding and learning negation in Jumlatul Failure. We have been pretty much doing all the sentences that were positive with few exceptions, but today how you negate a sentence, that is what you are going to learn in today's session inshallah. So, before I take you to negation, I will like you to, just review one thing with me that we have covered in our last session. So, in the last session, we were covering about La Nahya. If you remember about La Nahya, what was one thing that I taught you in La Nahya? Where did we learn La Nahya? The La of forbidding. What do you expect to see after La Nahya? If La is La Nahya, what should be the expected word after La Nahya? Yes, there is going to be a fail mudare that is going to be in majzoom form. Very, very good job. La Nahya, always remember, is going to be seen only and only before your fail mudare. Okay, and always remember also that it is going to be seen only and only before your mudare majzoom. Is this clear to all of you? That when it comes to La Nahya, which is one of the harf jazima, and La is understood as La of forbidding, you are going to find this particular La only before fail mudare. Number one, mudare is always going to be majzoom, right? Most of the time, you will find it before fail mudare that is in that has a second person inbuilt pronoun. And what are your second person? What is the second person pronoun? There's a first person, there's a second person, there's a third person, right? Very good job. Second person inbuilt pronoun, or your second person as far as your pronouns go, is anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, right? So you will mostly see which alamatul mudare after la nahiya. Your fail mudare will have this particular alamatul mudare after la nahiya. No, that is the alamatul mudare. What will be the alamatul mudare? This is, yes, the mudare is going to be the majzoom form. When it comes to alamatul mudare, I don't know why you keep forgetting alamatul mudare. It's so, it has been taught alamatul mudare is anith. Alamatul mudare is anith. Alamatul jazm is sukoon or hasfin noon, or hasf of weak letter. When it comes to alamatul mudare, you are going to see most of the time, in most cases, la nahiya is going to be followed by la nahiya is going to be followed by mudare, that is number one majzoom in form, and the alamatul mudare is going to be ta. Why so? Because as I have written here, you are going to find this particular la before your second person. Do not go near the wealth of an orphan. So who am I saying? Am I addressing someone? Absolutely, I am addressing someone where I'm asking someone to not do something, right? Does it make sense? Right? La Nahya, there is a, it is in the table, Sister Ranas. Why is it in the La Nahya in the table? Huh? What is this? So, usually but not always found before mudare. Usually but not always found before mudare that has second person inbuilt pronoun. Remember that, okay? It is not, it's, you do not think that it's going to be always going to be before second person, but mostly it's going to be before second person. It can be found in Quran before third person as well, and there are examples of that as well. Okay, keep that in mind. But if I ask you, do not eat, if you have to say someone, do not eat, do not drink, do not go there, do not go there, who do you address? Who do you address? The second person, the second person, right? So you address second person, right? It is the second person. You say that, do not come near zina, right? So it's the second person. When you see a statement, do not come near zina, even if you is not there, you know that this is the you is the addressee, the person is addressing you, right? So that's fine. Okay, so when it comes to the status of mudare, we have already covered. You are going to find mudare in the majzoom form. When it comes to la nafiya, though there are very many different types of la nafiya, which is la that negates, but you can find this la nafiya. When you talk about this la nafiya, you can find it before an ism as well. Have you seen in Quran la khawfun alayhim? There will be no fear upon them, right? Yes, La Nafia has very many different types, but you will find La Nafia, you can find La Nafia before an ism. La Nahia will never be found before an ism. Always remember that. When it comes to La Nafia, it can be before any form of mudare. Okay, you can find it before second person, third person, first person. Okay, there is no preference in here. La Nahia, if I asked you in 85% of cases, or 85 to 90% of cases, la nahiya is found before mudare with the second person inbuilt pronoun. When it comes to la nafiya, you can find it before second, third, and first person. There is no preference in that regards. Okay, when it comes to la nafiya, it can be before any form of mudare. Okay, and you will notice la nafiya will not bring any change to your fi'l mudare. Do you see here la yash'urun, la ya'lamun? Is there any change to your fail mudare, which was from af'alul khamsa? There is no change in your fail mudare. It is not, the noon has not been taken away or anything of that nature, right? Now, the last part is, we have covered that in the last session as well. When it comes to la nafiya, it gives you an informative statement, right? It gives you an informative statement. It gives you an information about something, right? But when it comes to la nahiya, it gives you a demand. It demands something from someone. Okay, it demands something from someone. Is this clear? And in the last session, I also went over that, we can just, specify it as forbidding. I can make it forbidding, demanding. So you're forbidding someone from doing something. So let's just do few examples and understand how this works. When I tell you one thing, 1 second. Okay, so let's just move it here. Okay, la taqrabu zina, la taqrabu zina, do not go near zina. Is this la nahiya or la nafiya? It is la nahiya, right? It is la nahiya, right? Everyone, la nahiya. Nahiya. And how do you know that this is my la nahiya? How do you know for sure? You are seeing mudare after it, right? You are seeing mudare after it, which is in its majzoom form. It has brought a change to your fi'lul mudare with omission of noon or hasfin noon. The noon got dropped. So this la is la nahiya. And here I have to bring in an exclamation mark at the end, signifying that this is a forbidding la, right? I'm making a statement which is demanding someone to not do something, right? Do not come near zina, do not commit zina, right? This is how you are going to understand this statement. Now, if on the left hand column you see la nukallifu nafsan illa wus'aha, nukallifu. When you see nukallifu, do you see any change in the fail mudare form? There is no change. So is this la nahiya or nafiya? It is la nafiya, and here the meaning is going to be we do not burden our soul except its capacity. We, or you can just understand it, we do not burden our soul beyond its capacity. Is this clear to all of you? Is this statement a statement of demand or just an informative statement? How will you take this La Nafia statement? You are going to understand it as just an informative statement. And information in Urdu and Arabic is called khabar. Okay, so it is going to be the kalam, or the statement that you are seeing here is jumlatul khabariya, khabariya from khabara, ya and tamarbuta. So it is going to be your jumlatul khabariya. It is informative statement. This type of kalam here is informative. It is not something where you are demanding someone to do something. In the next ayah that I have on your screen for you is ya ayyuhallazina amanu La tadkhulu buyutan ghayra buyutikum. Do not enter houses other than your houses hatta tasta'nisu, until you seek permission, wa tusallimu, and you say salam ala ahliha, upon its people. So here la tadkhulu, this la, what type of la is this going to be? It is la nafiya or nahiya. The spellings are very different. Nahiya, it is considered la nahiya because I am again finding my mudari in majzoom form, and mudari is majzoom bi hasfin noon, right? The noon got dropped, and this fail that had waw as its pronoun. You all do not enter houses. And again, the alamatul mudari that you have, the sign of mudari is ta in both those examples. Having said so, remember, I have given you this disclaimer. You are going to find this la in 85 to 90% of cases before mudari that has a ta in the beginning as and has a ta as alamatul mudari, but you may find it, otherwise as well, and we will do one example of that as well. Okay, you will mainly see this la nahiya before second person, but it can be seen before third person and first person as well. Okay, keep that in mind. But mainly in Quran, where do you find it? In Quran, in 85 to 90% of examples, or 95% of examples will have la nahiya before second person. Now look at this example. La yukallimuhumullahu. Allah la yukallimu, this la here, yukallimu, this la, how will you understand this la? It is la that is la nafiya because mudare is unaffected. Mudare did not get affected by this la. Mudare is in its marfu form, right? It is in marfu form. So this la is going to be la nafiya, right? Mudare is not affected by my la. Therefore, the la that does not bring any change or does not affect the status of mudare is going to be la nafiya. And here you are seeing it before third person, right? Yukallimu is a third person, is huwa yukallimu. Allah will not speak to them yawmal qiyamah, when? On the day of judgment. So wala yuzakkihim, la yuzakkihim, when you have la yuzakkihim, again the same thing. Mudare is again marfu in form, if you all remember, again in third person. But in yuzakki, what is the sign of marfu form of mudari? How can I say that this mudari is rough in form? Because the ya is intact and there is a dhamma that I'm going to assume dhamma, dhammatul muqaddara. Very good job. If it was in the mansoob form, what would have happened to ya? If I have to make it mansoob, use a key, I have to make it mansoob, I will put a visible fatha on it. It will get a fatha to zahira. Very good job. Ya with fatha. Very good job. If I have to make it majzoom, tell me what to do with use a key. Drop ya. Very well done. Very well done. I'm going to simply drop my ya, and it is going to become yuzaki with one count kasra, and that is it. That is it. Right? Very well done. Very well done. For all of you who are with me and are actively participating and trying their best to understand these concepts, I'm very, very proud of you. I'm very, very proud of each and every one of you who is trying to you know who's giving their 100% and actually some 200% to the program. Okay, now one thing I want you to now focus on is, see here, Allah will not speak to them on the day of judgment and will not purify them. Is this something a demand statement, or is just Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you a piece of information? It's informative statement. Very good job. It is jumlatul khabariya. So this la is la nafiya. I'm going to call this la nafiya. On the other hand, la tadkhulu, Allah was demanding that it is a part of your iman to show your iman. If to show the state of your iman, it is incumbent upon you. If you are a person of iman, do not randomly enter people's houses until tastanisu. This tastanisu, when you look at this word, what is the status, or what type of word is tastanisu? Do you think that this is mudare? It is, yes, hasfin noon is there. This is, and hasfin noon you only read in mudare. So this is your fail mudare with anta tastanisu, antum tastanisu, because ta and waw were together. So it is antum tastanisu. This is mansoob. Somebody has written that this is mansoob, right? This is mansoob. And what made this tastanisu mansoob after hatta? There was an an, because hatta needs a help from another word, right? Hatta was from the words that needs help from other words, and it takes help from an mudmira, the hidden an, and this is how it got, the budare has been made mansoob by that an that is hiding and is going to be always hiding, will never be visible after hatta. Remember, it's always going to be hiding. It's very, very, it's going to give its silent help to hatta and will make mudare mansoob. Now I'm going to take you to tusallimu. Tusallimu is also not tusallimuna. It is again your antum tusallimu. The status of mudare, if I ask you, what is the status of mudare? Give me the status now. It is nasbin status. It is nasbin status. Nasbin status, mudare is mansoob. Very good job. And again, it is mansoob bi hasfin noon, because it was from 5 special af'al that have wabil jama'a, aliful isnain, ya al-mukhataba. So it is waw there. So in here, tusallimuna became tusallimu. So why is it mansoob? The answer has already been typed by my very special sister Musarrat Sultana, and she says that this is mansoob because of atf. And remember how you have learned atf in this course. Kindly follow atf just as you have been taught in this course, that you know how when you have waw is going to take the status. It's going to be mansoob bil atf. When I say mansoob bil atfi, do you all understand that mansoob because of atf, bil atfi because of atf? Is this easy Arabic so far? I'm not very Arab, I'm not speaking too much Arabic, right? Atf, yes, because of atf, tusallimu was made mansoob. Now, inshallah, we are going to embark on the next example, which is from Suratul Hujurat. Now Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O those who have believed. Now it is, the part of your iman. If you really have believed, you have to do what is coming next in the ayah. La yaskhar. La yaskhar. What is the form of mudare here? What is the status of mudare here? This is mudare. Alamatul mudare is ya. Alamatul mudare is ya. The status of mudare, as you have written, is majzoom. And majzoom bis sakoon. There are 3 ways you have learned mudare can show its majzoom form. One is sakoon, one is hasfin noon, one is hasfil harfe illa, if the weak letter is at the end, if mudare ends with a weak letter like alif waw ya, it's going to drop its weak letter. Here it is majzoom. Do you consider this la nafiya or nahiya? Afifa, Fatatu Zahira is only for mansoob form, right? So when it's majzoom, there are only three ways: sukoon, drop noon, drop weak letter, right? Inshallah. So this la is going to be called la nahiya because I found my mudare in majzoom form after this. Though here alamatul mudare, here alamatul mudare is ya. Still I said that, it's not that it's never going to be before third person, right? I gave you this disclaimer that in 85 to 95% of cases you will find it before ta, before alamatul, before mudare that has ta as alamatul mudare, but you can find it before ya as well. So la yaskhar, yaskhar means to ridicule. لا يسخر قوم من قوم. Huh? قوم من قوم. So a قوم should not ridicule another قوم, another nation. Is this making sense? Now, this forbidding is in third person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking a nation not to ridicule another nation, maybe because maybe they are better than them, and neither women, any other women, maybe they are better than them. Women are particularly mentioned because they are very pro at it sometimes, we, because how we get out of control. So unfortunately, so it's been, we are particularly mentioned in this ayah because Allah knows how He has created us. Allah has made us and He knows our weaknesses and strengths. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, mentioned women, and not men have not been highlighted. One of the very few places where women are particularly asked not to ridicule any other women, because maybe the women you are ridiculing may be way better than you are, right? In terms of iman, in terms of akhlaq, in terms of virtue, or right. So we need to be very careful. This is a, we do it on social media, but even when it comes to celebrities, we think that, we have all the right to ridicule anyone, politicians and celebrities in particular, because of the nature of their job, and we think very highly of ourselves when we are doing that, right? So it's very important that we take a lesson from this ayah. So what is a sign of jazm in la yaskhar? What is the sign of jazm in la yaskhar? Khar is, ra has a sakin, ra has gotten a sukoon. That is the sign of mazzoom status. And in here, qaum is going to be the outside doer for yaskhar, right? Qaum is going to be the outside doer for yaskhar. Hua yaskhar. Qaum is the doer. So hua got erased. And now you are not going to translate hua. You are going to translate it as a nation should not ridicule another nation, right? And the woman, not any other woman. Maybe she is better than her, right? Better than them. La talmizu. La talmizu, again, la is going to be nahiya, but in here it is antum talmizu, and you all do not blame yourselves. Wala tanabazu bil alqab, and do not call each other with names. Bi'sa lismal fusuq. It, how bad it is as a word, which is, which is extremely filthy, bad. Okay, so وَمَنْ لَمْ يَتُبْ, and whoever he does not do tawbah, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ, then those are the ones who are the zalim. Lam, have we covered lam in our course yet? Yes, and this lam is harf jazima, and this is making mudari majzoom after it. And then an, sister Nosheen is bringing our attention to an yakunu. In here, an is making yakununa, yakunu bihasfin noon. Yes, that is another example of hasfin noon when it comes to an yakunna. An yakunna, do you notice any change? Do you notice any hasfin noon when it comes to yakunna? Do you notice there was any change in the yakunna? No change. Why so? Why so? Because yakunna is ending with nunu niswa, and the af'al that end with nunu niswa, they are mabni, they are not going to undergo any change, right? They are mabni, they are not going to undergo any change. And I think I missed a question here. Nunu niswa because of Antun, that was Antunna. Very good job. So an harf is hidden before. No, an is not hidden before asghar. Yasghar. No, no. La is making yasghar. La is making yasghar majzoom. La nahiya is here, which is making yasghar majzoom. Right? La is making yasghar majzoom. Is this clear, Iram? Yeah. La is nahiya. It is a la that has an action. It has an ability to make mudari majzoom, which it is doing, mostly seen before second person, but can be seen before third person and first person as well. In Quran, you will find it before third person. An harf nasba only? No, I have taught you in the very beginning when I was introducing you to all these ans that an has four different types. Four different types of an are there, but we are going to focus only on an nasibatul lil mudare in this term, right? You are going to learn four different types, right? We have gone over that when I was introducing you to all these haruf nasiba, right? Just like I have taught you, lamma is of three types, but lamma that we are going to focus on is going to be lamma jasima, right? La nafia is of 12 different types. Yeah. So la nafia is of 12 different types, but we are going to just focus on the simple one for now that can be seen before ism and fail, and it does not bring any change to what follows it, right? Is this clear? Hidden an will be for haruf nasiba, and those haruf nasiba that will have an hidden after it, and they get silent help from uh, an. These include lamu talil, lamul juhud, hatta, fa, waw, au, right? No, it's going to be practice, and it's going to be very easy for you, inshallah. You will learn it in no time. Now let's do another example. وَمَا جَعَلْنَاهُمْ جَسَدًا لَا يَأْكُلُونَ الطَّعَامَ. We have not created a body that does not eat food. So here, la, this la, will you call it nafi or nahi? Nafi or nahi? You will call it La Nafia. Very good job, Sahar and Musarat, because there is no change. No change. Just call it La Nafia and translate it as an informative statement where you are going to say they do that does not eat ta'am, that does not eat food. I have not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making for those who go on to endless dieting, who are suffering from anorexia, nervosa, bulimia, nervosa, and this is, a wake up call for them that there is not a body that has been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that does not eat. Allah has made our bodies to eat and nourish ourselves, right? وَمَا كَانُوا خَالِدِينَ, and not they were to be forever, but and inshallah we are going to learn this ma. We have lightly touched upon that in when we were finishing our fi'l madin, and today in today's session we are going to learn it in more detail, inshallah. Okay. Wow. Okay, I am going to Afifa. Can we have a table for la like that of types of wow? Oh, so Afifa, it's going to be too overwhelming at this stage. I will it is for on in our Google Drive. It should be in your Google Drive. It's going to be the different types of la. You will find it on my YouTube channel too, on the one of the posts on the different types of la. But inshallah for now, there are everything is prepared, because the course has already been conducted, so we have everything prepared. The slides are already prepared. However, I do not want to overwhelm students at this stage with a lot of information that they do not need at this stage, right? So let's just shift the gears, and now let's do negation in Jumlatul Fedia. When it comes to negation in any sentence, I will want you to focus on this table. When you have to negate Jumlatul Fedia, because we have covered, Alhamdulillah, Jumlatul Fedia, you will say, I do not eat non-halal. You can say, right? This is how you can make a statement. You can say, I will not eat non-halal. Then you can also say, I will never eat non-halal. And then you can also say, I did not eat non-halal. No, I did not eat non-halal. Like, so like there is some assertiveness in there. I have not yet eaten my food. I have not yet eaten my food. This is how usually people talk, right? And negation is just, negation that you are seeing in Quran, right? Okay, so I do not associate anything with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Very good, right? So this is how you say any type of statement. There's a lot of eating going on in these examples, but I want you to focus and learn how you can put all this in Arabic, inshallah. Okay, so keep those statements in mind. I do not, I will not, I will never, I did not, no, I did not, I have not yet eaten my food. Okay, keep these statements in back of your mind, and now look at what I have for you. When it comes to tools that negate the past tense, but when it comes to tools that negate past tense, how you have covered two very recently. If I have to negate in the past tense, what two I have just covered from harufa jazima I can use and I can negate in the past? Lam, lamma, right? Lam, did not. Lamma, have not yet. Lam, did not. Lamma, have not yet, right? When it comes to negation in the past, you can also use ma. You can also use ma nafia. Just like la nafia, you can use ma nafia. When it comes to negation in the past, you can use la nafia. You can use la nafia, and you can sometimes use in nafia as well. Negate in the past means that if I have to have a statement where I have to say, you know, for example, let me show you one example from Quran. Root labistum. Okay, here. In labistum illa qalila. So in in here, this in is going to be treated as not. Labistum, you all remain. Illa, except. Qalila, for a little. So see how it has been translated. You had not remained in the world except for a little. You notice there was a labistum. When you look at labistum, what comes to your mind, Ruqayya? What type of a word labistum is? Looking at the word from the beginning to the end, we have just covered this word. It is fail madin. It's a past tense, right? Tum, and it has a past tense, there. Ta is your doer. Ta is your doer pronoun, which is visible, and meme is for masculine plural, right? This is how you have covered this word, labistum, right? Now, he in here, if it was labistum, you remained. If I have to say, you had not remained, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used in this ayah of Surah Al-Isra, verse number 52? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used in. It is going to be translated as not, right? So in here, there is an in that has been used to negate the past tense. So this is what I meant by negation in the past tense form. So you had not remained in the world except for a little. Is this clear? No, not two negatives. It's illa, not la. If it was la, there were two negatives. It is only illa, right? Illa means except. Okay. So now the tools that you are going to use to negate in the past can be ma, lam, lamma, in, la. All of them are going to be no, not. Lam is did not, lamma, have not yet, has not yet. Okay. Is this clear so far? Tools that you can use to negate the present tense can be the similar ones, manafia, lanafia, innafia. Tools to negate the future tense can be la and lan. Once you learn the examples, inshallah, it's going to be clearer to you. Tools to negate the future tense can be la, lan. Is this clear so far? Let's just do few examples and understand them. So, in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 16, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about Jews, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Innal lazina ashtarawu dalala bil huda. Those are the ones who have purchased error in exchange for guidance. فَمَا رَبِحَتْ مَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُمْ تِجَارَتُهُمْ مَا رَبِحَتْ. So their transaction has brought no profit. Ma has been used before rabihat. What is rabihat? Past tense, right? Rabihat is a past tense, right? No, tijarat is your transaction. Rabihat is to bring profit, right? Rabihat is fi'il madin, and ta sakin is there as for the to make fi'il feminine, and this has it is hiya rabihat, it is hiya rabihat, and in here the jaratu is acting as an outside doer and is cancelling hiya, right? It is cancelling hiya, and the sentence has been negated by the use of ma nafiya. Ma nafiya is negating the sentence. Is this clear to all of you? How you are going to bring a ma and it's going to turn the meaning into the negation. It is going to turn a positive sentence into a negative sentence. So now their transaction has brought profit, has been changed into their transaction has brought no profit by the use of ma, right? Easy? You are going to put ma before your past tense and you are going to bring negation in the sentence. Just like rabihat tajaratuhum means their transaction has brought profit. Now because of ma rabihat, their transaction has brought no profit. No profit. Kanu muhtadeen. Kanu muhtadeen means they were guided. When we say they were not guided and they were not guided, what do I do? Kanu is your fail madin. It's fail madin. I'm going to bring a ma, and here I'm seeing the it being translated as they were not guided because of the context. Here I should translate it as nor were they guided because there is a negation already happening in the sentence. Is this clear to all of you that how I can simply negate my past tense by using a past tense, and I am going to bring a ma before that past tense, and this is going to negate the sentence, and this is all that simple, right? So to negate in the past, mudare can sometimes be used with lam, and this harf lam actually always pushes the present tense to the past tense, and this is the job of lam, and this we have covered in the previous sessions, right? Lam tamassuhunna, and you have not touched them. Lam tamassuhunna, you have not touched them. How am I translating it as a past? It is, you did not touch them or you have not touched them. It is based on the context. Sometimes did not and sometimes have not is going to be used. So how do I know that I have to not, it cannot be translated as and you do not touch them? Because of lam in the beginning, I know that I have to translate this chunk as a past tense because my Fain Mudare has lam before it, whose job is to push the tense into past. Lam is there and it pushes the tense into, it changes the tense into past tense form. Now Mudare is no longer going to be translated in a present tense form. It is going to be translated as a past tense. Is this clear? If it was tamassunahunna, you all touch them, right? Is it a present tense form? When I say tamassunahunna, you all touch them. It is a present tense, right? It's a present tense form. When I say lam tamassuhunna, I am changing the tense into past tense. I am changing the status of mudare to majzoom form by omitting the noon. You notice when I say tamassuna hunna, I brought the noon back, right? Tamassuna hunna, I brought the noon back. But when I add lam, I'm going to omit my noon in case of afalul khamsa, and I will notice that I am going to now translate it as a past tense form, into a past tense form. Is this clear? Because lam is harf jasmin, and it is also called harf qalbin because it changes the present tense to the past tense, and qalb means heart, literally means heart, and our heart changes all the time, right? Isn't it that your heart all changes all the time? Sometimes you want to eat this, sometimes you want to eat this, sometimes you like this, sometimes you like that, sometimes you are obsessed with something. When you were young, you wanted to dress up, you wanted to make your hair like this way, that way, but then a stage in life comes where you are not interested on all those activities anymore, right? Your heart has changed, right? So just like that, lam changes the tense from the present to the past. Now, let's just see another one. You can also negate your past tense. I want you to just know, I don't want you to go into detail of that. I will just going to give you a disclaimer here. I want you to know that your la nafia can also negate your past tense. It can also come before your past tense and negate it. Fala saddaqa wala salla, and the disbeliever has not believed nor had he prayed. So is la negating your sadaqah and salah? What do you think? Sadaqah huwa sadaqah, salah huwa salah, right? Here you are noticing la nafia is negating your past tense, and la nafia can do so. You only thing that you need to know at in this term 2 is that la nafia can also come in before your past tense, okay, and can negate. And you have example of that in Surah Al-Qiyamah 31. I have given you the conditions when it was going to be used for negation. La nafia is used for negation, but for now, I just want you to know at this stage, you do not need to know the two conditions. You need to know is that you can have negation by la nafia of your past tense as well. It can literally come before your past tense and negate your past tense. Okay, saddaqa, nasara, salla, nasara. It's huwa salla, huwa saddaqa. Okay, is this clear to all of you that you can, how many ways have you learned that you can negate in the past? First was easy and simple, ma nafia. Second was lam with past, with fail mudari, majzoom. Third is la nafia. Now, the fourth way by which you can negate in the past is using lamma and bringing up fail mudare majzoom with it. Lamma with fail mudare majzoom with it, and it's going to negate your, it's going to do the negation in the past tense form. Is this clear? Lamma ya'lamillahu, Allah has not yet made known allazina jahadu minkum, those who have struggled or strived among you all. Walamma ya'tikum masalul lazina khalaw min qablikum, and the example of those who have passed before you all has not come to you all. So is it, has not been made evident and has not yet come to you all? Does it make sense that how lamma with mudari majzoom can be used to negate in the past? You can translate it has not yet, had not yet. You can your English and Arabic are never going to be equivalent. You can never, I can never give you a word. It's going to be just a rough estimated word that you are going to come across with. They are not comparable by any means. You cannot compare them, right? So it's just a rough way, and you will find that in your the translations done by the Salaf, and by the people of knowledge who have translated the Quran, and these are the people of knowledge. They are doing it from a lot of knowledge background. It's not that they are translating Quran without any knowledge of it, but still, there cannot be a justice, complete justice done to the translation. And so that is why we always need to understand everything, so that you have, I keep on telling my advanced students, you understand it like that, right? Easy. So for now, you have to understand, when it comes to lamma, you know that negation has begin from the beginning of the time till the time we are conversing. Okay, this particular action has not yet happened till the time of the conversation that is taking place between me and you. Okay, I have not yet finished my tea, so it does not mean that I will not finish it in future. I will finish it after the class is done. It's going to be, I'm going to heat it in the microwave and I'm going to finish my tea. But I have not yet taken my tea. What does it tell you? From the beginning of the time till the time of my conversation with you, this action has not yet taken place, right? وَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ, and Iman has not yet entered your hearts. What does it mean? It may enter your hearts in future, but from the beginning of the time to the time of the conversation between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Prophet addressing the people of Medina, the Iman has not yet entered the heart. From the beginning of the time to the time of conversation, this action has not yet taken place. However, it may happen in future. Okay, it does not tell you that this is going to never happen. But remember, it is juhd al mustaghraq. It's a very heavy term. Don't worry about it. You just need to know, you just need to understand, what does it mean? What does lamma mean? Negation by lamma mean that, from the beginning of the time to the time of conversation, the action has not yet happened. Okay, so with that, I will end you I will end the session with this thought in mind, that this is how you are going to understand lamma. And inshallah, we will continue our negation in the next session on Thursday. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I will vomit tea and drink it, inshallah. So take care, everyone.